Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of JKL Media, where we are continuing our journey of 12 monkeys, and our tethers have been reestablished for another discussion of 4 episodes. And to do that with me, I have my two co-hosts, my fellow time travelers, and first is Karen. Hello, Karen. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Great. And Jesse, how are you, sir?
I am great. Looking forward to getting back into this world, and we are slowly getting there, aren't we,
We
guys?
are. After this, we've only
It
got
feels
one more batch of 4 episodes, and then the two episode finales.
feels quick.
Yes, yes, it does. So today we're
And
just
I'm eating monkey bread in
okay.
tribute to 12 monkeys.
Very
Nice.
good. All right, so you're gonna have 12 slices then.
God, I can't imagine.
Yeah. All right, so we're talking season 4, episodes 2 through 5, and that would be Ouroboros, 45 RPM, Legacy, and After. And I think for me, for the first time, the show is still great. I'm still enjoying it, but the emotional amplitude has dropped a little bit for me in these episodes because there's a little bit of repetition going on now. Though in the last episode that we watched After, they did a nice twist on something that I was not really a fan of, and we'll talk about that when we get to that episode. But there's still some interesting stuff going on, and for sure. And Ouroboros is the first one up. And oh, I'm sorry. Before I do that, Karen, what was your overall thoughts on these 4 episodes?
I thought they were good.
Mm-hmm.
I had some frustration with a couple of them. I thought it felt like a Back to the Future 3 kind of thing going on in these episodes, where it's a good movie, but it doesn't live up to the first two outings.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you 100% that these were good. I'm still super invested in the show, but it did seem like it stalled out a bit during these 4 episodes. And I feel like if they're going to do a lot in the last few episodes, which they are, we know that already because we're missing a lot of information, they could have put more stuff here in these.
Right. And
so
we might feel differently once we get to the end of the series, but that's just how we're feeling right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jesse.
Yeah, these were good, not great, is I think how I'd put it. This was the first time where I went, oh, okay, this may not be the greatest time travel show of all time. And I think this is a little bit unfair because they've been at 11, right?
Yep.
For all of you Spinal Tap fans. And
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden we're like at a 7 or an 8. And I do think part of it is I feel like we've done this dance before
Right.
where someone is on their own revenge journey because of losing a child and they don't care. And now this felt a little bit like a copy of a copy.
Yep.
And that's not what this show does. This
Right.
show
It's the
is
third
unique.
time, right?
Yeah. And so there were really some great moments.
Hmm.
And overall, I think also at this point we're so close to the end. It's if on your Kindle when it says you're at 85% of the book, you're like, okay, I'm ready to push on now. And we're stopping because we want to talk about them. And I think your point, Lou, about if we go over this afterwards, you go, oh, okay, this was an important setting up for this was a setup lap to sprint to the finish.
Yeah.
That is a great comparison, Jesse, as a super reader. If I get to 85% in a book and they haven't given me enough, my first thought is this better not be a cliffhanger. That kind of thought of, I don't think they can give me all the information I need in that last 15%. So that's my feeling right now is if they're going to cram it all in, let's have some of that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the first time, just revisiting this a bit more, is that I feel like the audience is ahead of the show. Like we've seen this dance before, but we're ready for the big finale number, and the show's just for the first time feeling a little like it's just filling time until we get to that. So that might be just the nature of the beast, that they had to have 10 episodes for season 4, when really maybe 6 or 8 would have worked better. But there's still some good stuff in here. It's funny that Karen mentions Back to the Future 3, because probably the weakest episode in this bunch is Legacy, which is where they go back to the Wild West. Yep. So I think that's a really appropriate comparison.
Really.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So Ouroboros is where the show is really hammering home the concept of the snake eating its tail. The end is the beginning is the end. So we know that we're in this cyclical time loop of storytelling. It's cool to see from a certain perspective the characters seeing themselves earlier in the timeline. This is something that I'm surprised the show has held off for this long in the series. We're in the last season, and I would have expected this kind of storytelling to be done a lot sooner. And they really embrace it quite a bit in these 4 episodes, and the last episode specifically after really minds that. And I thought it was really well done. I don't think I'm going to go episode by episode on this one. Let's just do a free for all here. But I do think the one character that's been hurt the most in certain aspects, or hurt might not be the right term, maybe just underutilized, it would be surprisingly Cassie. I feel like she's one of the ones that really is falling prey to the "we've done this dance before" kind of thing. Her for their son is going on here. And then I did like how she, in the last episode, is really focusing on how the question that we're all asking is, how is the show going to stick the landing and give us satisfying endings for all these characters? And she's questioning what's going to happen to her and Cole if they're finally successful in resetting the timeline. So, Jesse, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Cassie, because you're the big Amanda Scholl fan here. She gets to do some kick-ass stuff, and she could be quite the action star. I'm surprised that never materialized for her, actually. But your thoughts on Cassie?
Yeah, the scene, to talk about Cassie, we're going to get to the others, right?
Yeah, go anywhere you want.
Yeah,
go through all 4.
the idea that, and I hate to second guess this, but you jumped ahead where maybe she's bought into this red forest, the land of hope and dreams in Springsteen term, where it's their version of heaven. The idea you never lose anyone, everyone you've loved, everyone you've wanted is there. And, Cole has his faith. I've seen a vision or a thought of me being happy at the end of this, and I know I wouldn't be happy without you there. So I am going to have faith that if we do the right thing, somehow or another, we're going to be together. And she's screw faith. I want, and which makes sense. She's a scientist. She's a doctor. I want reality, and I'm going to control this. And I don't care who I have to partner with to get us together. All of a sudden, she has now thrown her lot in, it appears, with the actual people that they've been fighting. I would have less problem with that if we didn't already have her going off on a tangent to try to kill the young Olivia to try to save. It feels like, okay, rinse, repeat, which I don't think serves the story well. So I'm doing a little bit of Monday morning quarterbacking. But yes, the storyline I don't like, but the execution, Amanda is just wonderful in it. I love that when she's in the prison. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then she goes and she's got that, and she's boom. It's almost like a video game of like just putting people down. It could have been, what is the HBO, the one based on the video
Last
game?
of Us?
Yeah, Last of Us, not This Is Us. That would have been a totally different This Is Us. Like, holy moly. Yeah, but
although there is an element of younger versus older characters.
Yes. Come on. So yeah, I love, as an actress, I'm sure she loved having this role. But I'm just not sure. I don't know yet how this is going to end. It seems it never works out when you make a bargain with the devil. And
Right.
I feel like that's what she's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah. The one thing that struck me in After, and maybe I don't like After as much as you guys, but there is one thing that I thought, and it's Cassie. How has she changed so much that she's now okay with letting all this death and destruction happen in order to be with Cole? She says to save the world or save each other, which would you rather do? And I think that's a no-brainer. Save the world, right? You don't want to save each other in that scenario. And I wonder how Cole is thinking at that point and whether he wants to continue with that we're together sort of thing. It would turn me off big time to a person if they said, hey, let's just save ourselves and let the whole world burn. So yeah, I was curious about that. I did like that episode, and I'm guessing it's the thing that Lou's talking about where they have to go back a little bit in order to help subvert what was going on, and you get to see it from different perspectives, and then Jennifer goes back and Robert Gale's in it and all that. I liked that aspect of it where you see why Cassie has that reaction in the lobby. She's in pain. You get to see where they come in and out and the same dialogue from different perspectives. I love that part of the episode, but Cassie's reaction to all that and actually buying into the Red Forest thing a little bit, it really made me angry with her character. The Wild West episode, now, why would they go to all the trouble to put this message in this little codex and it be this cryptic, hey, this year, this place? Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they put like a real note in there? They're not really good seers if that's all they saw. To me, that wouldn't make someone a seer if they saw a place in a year.
Seer
right?
saw.
Seer saw. Yeah, exactly. They saw one thing.
Yeah.
So why did they give him such a vague message? And it makes me feel like Cole needs more to go on. We need more information. What if he goes there and it doesn't work, which kind of happened, right? Why didn't the seers foresee something happening to him? So that also was a sticking point for me. And part of why these episodes were like, I wanted to pick up my solitaire game, which is how I judged these episodes. There was a part of me that was like, oh my God, I'm so irritated by these. I also thought it was where she goes back. Cassie has to know if she goes to 1971 to kill Olivia, she's going to do what actually happened. Does she not get that when you go back with this goal to kill someone, you're actually putting in motion the thing that you're trying to stop?
Yeah.
And that is a thing that they've learned over and over again, that they need to look at the big picture and not just focus on it. Started in the first episode with Leland, right? They go back to kill him and they actually start in motion all these things happening. I feel like she should have been smarter at that point. I did Ouroboros and I thought that Jennifer was good in that. I like that it ends with her getting cornered by Interpol and looking at the clock so that she can tell Cole the exact time to come and save her, and then she steps off, and that's where we end the episode, is her jumping off. And then the next episode doesn't start with that.
Yes.
Which I was like, hello, where is that? What's going to happen? And again, another part of why I really like these is the whole past asshole, future asshole thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny where they talk about that. And he says, bring him a burger. It's just cool to see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Jennifer saying, Guffin, just the whole Jennifer Cole thing I thought was good. Cassie is very frustrating. And then we get Deacon too, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I think this is the first time that we've been somewhat critical of the show, which when you're in the home stretch is not something you want to be doing. So hopefully the next 4 will get us back on our love fest for the series. But
I'm still in a like fest.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's hard to maintain when you get to a high bar. It's this show shows that it's very difficult to maintain that. It just caught me a little off guard, and I think you're both feeling the same way from that. Interestingly enough, though, I think Cole is coming off pretty good in these 4 episodes. He's really focused on the mission, but not ruthlessly, but just pragmatically. Like all these things that Cassie wants to do, he's not on board with it, but he's still willing to make the sacrifices, especially in after when he tells his, oh, what's his name?
Gale?
No,
Robert Gale?
Zalman Shah.
Oh, Zalman Shah.
Yeah, that character is back again. Tells him to give the antidote to Cassie. I think his character has grown quite a bit, and I'm thinking at that part, I think the way that the show is going to give us that happy ending that we're going to want is that future asshole is going to sacrifice himself because he knows younger asshole will pick up the thread or something like. I think something like that is going to happen, which I think would be pretty cool. But we'll have to see how that plays out.
Because we've already seen older Jennifer sacrifice herself for the younger Jennifer. I did want to say that I agree. Jennifer continues to be the MVP. The
Yeah,
idea that one of her imaginary selves dies, and the idea of she's trusting that you knew exactly what she was doing, right? You see her look at the time, you do, and you're like, okay, that's how it's going to happen. And then I'm right there with you, Karen. Okay, when are we getting this? When we get that, this is not making it easy for me. And the idea of bring him a cheeseburger was a lovely little scene. Jennifer, I think this is a great example of a female character and a male character having a great relationship that is not romantic. And so many times we want to immediately do that shipping thing, and I'm guilty of it at times too. They're just wonderful together. And then, you brought it up, but by far my favorite was getting to see one last time this FBI agent.
yeah,
Right. And the idea that since they told me, and he was able to change his future, and he's so happy. Robert Gale is just so happy. I am so happy that I've been able to get involved with you and been able to help with you.
yeah.
And Cole going, I hope I never see you again. But I think as that actor, he must have loved being in this because he's gotten to play so many cool things, and he's and him and Jennifer, I'm ready. Log them up. Let's do a sitcom. But they're like, shit, we're the ones that do the ring the bell. We caused this.
That
Damn
was
it.
so great.
Is just so fun. And you're like, the whole circular reasoning, it is truly just one of the best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Jennifer, like you said, is the MVP, and she has some great lines. I think of the last episode, what did she say? It's when she's knocking on the door, Cole and Cassie are in bed together.
Yeah. Only butt stuff.
Yes, you know what happened the last time, and I love the expression on Cassie's face.
Yeah,
so good.
That was priceless. Yeah, and we might as well go there. When she confronts Deacon near the end of After, and it says, "This isn't you," and he says, "I'm exactly where I want to be." And I thought, oh crap! But then they threw that curve at the end when he turns around and gives her that wink back that she gave him before. So I thought, oh, damn it!
And he sings.
That was a nice curveball, and I was really happy to see that. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out going forward as well, for sure.
And I did love that actor. We've been talking about how much we love him, right?
Yeah.
But this is so good. I would believe they left me, Cole. We left him to die. What do you expect?
Yeah.
And they have done a great job of showing that Cassie and Deacon had those moments off screen during that time, and they continue to have that connection. I will tell you,
bad or good, right?
Yeah, I did enjoy and this show does a good job of that, the Olivia episode and then they re-show it from her perspective, right? They show it like she's the innocent, she's being manipulated by her mother. And then when you
Hmm.
go back, you go, no, her mother is the one that maybe has doubts, does have doubts. And Olivia has always been,
Army of the 12 Monkeys.
yeah,
Yeah.
I won't say evil, but she's
Mm,
always been dedicated in that role,
I
which
will.
I thought was a nice twist. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been, speaking of Olivia, that's for me, it's been one of the minuses of these 4 episodes. Like once she's been crowned as the witness, her character has become a lot less interesting because she's just like on this, let's get to the Red Forest. We got to do all this stuff. So
Yeah.
that character's diminished for me these episodes, which is too bad because I think the actor that plays that character is really good. But yeah, I hope that something's going to change in the next 4 episodes that will elevate her again. So we've mentioned
Can we talk
Gail.
about Deacon real
Yep,
quick?
sure,
Sure.
absolutely. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You guys know, you think at least that he's doing something to stop Olivia, right?
Yep.
That he's on the good side, right?
See,
is
I
that the
don't
consensus?
know.
He sings "Don't You Forget About Me" as he's walking away, and Jennifer realizes, hey, he might not be the bad guy.
Hmm.
It's making me think he's not the bad guy in that instance.
I did not pick that up. I now want to go back and watch that episode again. That would be a really nice twist.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the way I took it. But yeah.
okay,
He winks
nice.
at her.
Yeah.
He says, I'm right where I want to be, which is very cryptic. And then he sings, "Don't you forget about me,"
Yeah.
as he
Yeah.
walks out.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
thought. At least.
that's the way
I'm
I took
sorry
it.
for
That's
interrupting.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
That's the way I took it as well. And that would be a good curve because the way the show's been structured, you're expecting him to, okay, he's flipped back to the bad side again because they stranded him. But it would show the character growth if he realized that it wasn't deliberate that they left him behind. They didn't have a choice. And he still recognizes that what's going on with this witness Red Forest thing is not good. So I'm hoping that's how that's going to play out for sure. So we shall
Ooh, I
see.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did like the scene where he takes the weapon.
Yeah.
He leans down and talks to the guy, and he's, hey,
Yeah.
if you don't give me this, you're gonna die. Your friend
And
upstairs.
he does menacing really well. Like
Yes,
even
he
when he's not
does.
talking, the way they photograph, like the whites of his eyes and his
Yeah.
wild hair and his stubble. Yeah, he's just a really solid actor. It's funny when you watch these kind of shows and you think, boy, it's hard to believe that this guy is not more well known. And he's
agreed.
definitely one of the actors out of this series. I would say, wow. I'm
Yeah,
glad he
he's
got some kudos in Picard season 3. So,
he's very active on Twitter, and
oh
he
yeah,
has retweeted when I had a compliment about him. He retweeted, and he's very active with the strike, doing stuff. So yeah, he's just really been a joy for this. And we talked about this when we talked about Midnight Mass, that some directors and show people have a group, a cast, and going all the way back to John Ford had a stable of actors that he used
right.
because they knew what he was. And I just think this has been one of the nice little bonuses is watching him, because I loved him at Card, and I really think in a lot of ways, because to have all the original Next Gen cast there and be able to shine above all of that tells you've got a lot of charisma.
Yep.
And so to see him doing this is really cool.
Yeah, talking about his stable, the Interpol officer, I can't remember his name. But anyway,
yeah, I love that actor's been in a couple other things.
Yeah, he had a big part in Suits, and I think that was also a Terry Matalas thing. So it's nice to see him with these actors, using them, and even if they're different, knowing how to get that out of them. Because the actress who plays Cassie, her name, I can't remember.
Amanda Schull.
Yeah.
Thank you. She plays a completely different character in Suits.
Yes, she does.
I think it's really cool and Todd Stashwick is not Deacon in Picard. He is a completely different character. So for him to have the stable of actors and to know what he can get out of them and what roles are good for them,
Mhm.
I think it's very cool. The guy who played Bonham in this is also very different in Suits.
Mhm.
So it's just cool. That kind of gave me more insight into he uses these characters really well. And knowing that he knows where to put them in his vehicles is also really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And its returning guest stars in this series are pretty cool too, like the FBI agent Gale has his
Mhm.
Doc Brown moment in this episode
Yep,
where he's got the bulletproof vest under his
that was
yeah,
so
Yeah.
good.
so that's pretty cool. And I also thought that Christopher Lloyd was really strong in the after episode. And of course, he's got a son now that we assume is going to be on a revenge path
Yeah.
for the death of his father. And I thought that was well played as well. And the whole sort of condensed backstory for the Zalman Saul character with his growing up with his childhood sweetheart, getting married, and then her getting sick and dying. I thought that was the show really does those kind of backstory things really in a really tightly compressed but well done thing. I just have to applaud them for how they do that on a consistent basis.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very Uppish, right? Like that, the
Mhm.
great,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
silent thing on Up.
I didn't cry in this case, but yeah.
No, I didn't either, but I love that the motivation,
Hmm.
right? Like you buy into this, why I want this and why they are supporting this. Yeah, I was really happy with that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and we also see that he was a minister in his
Yeah.
early life, and
Yeah.
he actually mentioned, I lost my faith in God
Hmm.
when this
Yeah.
happened, and so I have to worship in a different way, and his way is to worship this witness kind of thing
Yeah.
and find his true love again. And we also see that he married the 12 Monkeys chick just in order to, I guess, procreate again and buy into the
Mhm.
whole 12 Monkeys dealio, whatever her name is, Mantis or whatever.
Yeah, and
Um,
another thing that we didn't touch on is I think last time we were discussing the baby and
Hmm.
who's going to be the daughter, and we get that reveal of and it is late in the season, you're getting late in the series, you're getting a new character, but
Hmm.
we did that. So we still don't know who Cole's mom is.
No, got a
And
name
run,
now though.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And
did it seem like maybe what's his name, Jones, was maybe attracted to Emma? Did you get that feeling at all that he was perving on her a little bit? His
Um,
assistant,
the,
Olivia's daughter, his assistant,
oh,
no,
and
I
who
don't.
was liking her?
the dude, Jones's quote unquote husband.
No, I did not get that. I thought that's what they were going to go. I truly think I did not catch that vibe.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about,
no, me either. No.
yeah,
I thought a little bit, but
okay.
and I think that R. Jones, the chick
Hmm.
Jones, I felt like maybe she felt a little threatened by her.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Okay. Yeah,
I
she
guess that's
did
just
feel
me.
that, but I
Yeah.
think unrightly so. I think he
Okay.
just truly was,
Focused on the tech.
yeah, he was focused on that journey.
Okay.
I did not get that. I get why you thought that, but no, and I think they wanted you to for her to think that way, but I think in his case, he truly loves her and he's obsessed with getting this job done.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
I I do think they were having quite a bit of fun though with some of these episodes in terms of costuming and that, like the Outer West, the Wild West
Yeah.
episode. Jennifer dressed up as a I don't know if she was supposed to be just a barmaid or a hooker. I don't know what it
Prostitute.
was,
Yeah.
a prostitute,
Yeah.
but
I got the feeling it was a prostitute.
yeah,
And
that was funny.
I also like the idea that Jennifer is the one like, hey, look at all these things that are wrong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I thought that was really,
Yeah, she's the one that notices.
yeah,
yeah,
Jennifer is just a joy every
I love her
time.
yeah,
so much.
yeah. And it was a cool reveal that the Titan had been built back in that time period. So
Yeah.
that was cool. And we just got the cycle of Hannah's father, and it'd be interesting to see how she's going to react the next time she sees Deacon because he killed him. And that's that actor who played the father is one of those actors that was a character actor that was big in the 90s. You would see him on almost every show. Another really solid actor. I quite enjoyed his appearance. And getting back to the costuming, the after episode when they were all dressed up in the 60s stuff, I thought was pretty good. I thought it was kind of Austin Powerish to a certain degree. So I quite enjoy that.
What
And
Yeah,
go
what I
ahead.
find interesting is we all said that we thought these were good or very, but as we talk about, there's a lot of great stuff in this, right? Like we're
Yeah.
all talking about how much we love.
It's just the
and I
emotional subtext. That's
Yeah, I think it just tells you how, and one of the other podcasts I do is the Perfectly Good podcast where Sylvan and I are going through every John Hyatt song in alphabetical order, and we rate the songs 1 through 5. And every few episodes, she reminds, okay, we're rating this on a scale so that a 1, you may say if this was someone else writing it, you might go, oh, that's a 3 something. But from us, and so I do think we're grading this, and not that we give rates on this one, but we're comparing to the previous things and how much
exactly.
emotional stuff
Yeah.
and so I think you have to give that kind of the idea of you can't stay at 11. And I do think it's the emotional. You're perfect about it. This thing was so strong for us in so many earlier episodes. But yeah, as I'm talking to this, I'm like, yeah, that was funny, or oh, that was good, or oh, we did get this reveal. A lot of good stuff in these 4 episodes.
Yeah, there was. I feel like there were good beats.
Yeah.
In badly motivated episodes. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an ebb and flow to stories, like the pacing in that. And I really feel, and I have no proof of this, but I just feel like they had to do 10 episodes, even though they maybe only had 6 episodes of story to tell. The financial balancing of the show against the creative, artistic side of the show sometimes is not in whack, or is out of whack a little bit for the first time, which is interesting because the other seasons were like every episode you just felt like, oh, I got to race to the next episode. But this was the first time I can take a bit of a break here, which is the first time I've run into that with this show. Though I am looking forward to the next episode because they're going to go to World War II, which is that's always fun. I don't know if that's going to be their Indiana Jones episode. I don't know, but we'll have to see.
I am looking forward to that, and Jennifer's just going to be great in this. She always is, right? But I just love her. Really? We're going to go?
Yeah, I liked it in after when she says, "Can I come?" And they both said no.
Yeah.
And Jennifer is an interesting place too, right? Because she's not really a primary anymore. So
she's lost.
I don't know what's that all about. Is she going to drink the red tea? We'll have to see. I don't know.
I feel like time is catching up for her, and she is at where she's not seeing all of time because she's living through it.
Okay.
At least that's my take on it.
She's coming to the end of her visions, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the scene where everyone has secrets. And so Jennifer's calling out their secrets, and they're calling out her. Oh yeah. How about, this is very much the what about a syndrome. Okay. We go back to Deacon, right? He's now Olivia, the witnesses, and if she's going to stay the witnesses right-hand man, but is this the long con? And now that I think about it, God, that'd be a great reveal. Yeah, that'll be,
Yeah, for sure. The other thing that I'm chuckling at, though, is when they say, climb the steps, ring the bell. I'm just thinking it's Star Trek 3. It says, we have to go to Mount Salea, climb the steps.
Yeah.
Kind of things. Ringing the bell. I wonder what bell that is.
And, and you got Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, right?
Yeah.
It is this whole, we're curious to see. So as you mentioned, we've got 4 episodes left, and then the 2-part finale, right?
Yeah. And I'm surprised that we still haven't seen the future Cole meets past Cole asshole scene in the lobby of the hotel. Usually they deliver on that stuff within 3 or 4 episodes, but the way they're going, that scene has to be almost like I bet you it takes place right before the 2 episode finale from the way things are looking right now. But
yeah, and that the fact that he's dropped that hint that this is the last Cole I'll ever be. Now, does he know what's going to happen, or does he have an inkling at least that?
mm-hmm.
And that really does make me buy into the fact that he'll sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
For the other Cole.
Yeah. And I'm wondering what Jennifer or Cassie was referencing. She says, there's another way. And he says, no, absolutely not. So I don't know what that'd be interesting to find out what that's all about as well.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. I forewent the episode by episode recap, but I just don't think any one of these episodes on its own stood out enough to give a detailed run through. I think it was better just to go through the character arcs here. And
yeah, the only thing I wanted to talk about is, and I agree with you, but we've already talked a lot about after, and it was very funny, almost farce like. The Cole dies, then okay, we're going to give him the medicine. I don't know if this is going to work. We have to do this. There's every back and forth. Was a lot of fun. Someone did bring up in IMDb that in 61 there would not be a bulletproof vest because it wasn't invented till 65.
Really?
Yeah,
come on.
hand wave.
Goal,
I just
right?
love that the back and forth. Okay, the medicine, and then we've got to hide, and they're seeing each other. There was a lot of that in these episodes, and it was fun. And Jones going, "Remember, you're a bitch." Right?
Oh yeah, that was great. I liked her talking to herself too.
Yes.
I thought
that was really well
Yes.
done. And okay, I'm going to drink this enough so I won't remember. And the whole, once again, there's a lot of bootstrap paradox on this that go, okay, the reason she figured it out is because she figured it out.
Right.
Because someone came and tell her. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But there hasn't been really any paradoxes that haven't been addressed properly so far.
No,
yeah,
I agree.
Sure. All right. I think that's all I got. We'll just go around the table. Karen, is there anything else that you wanted to mention that hasn't come up yet?
Not about these episodes, no.
Oh, but you have something else?
I do have a question about the stuff that's upcoming, but
okay. Let's get back to that in a sec. Jesse, anything else?
No, I think we've covered everything we needed to cover. I really think that I'm looking forward to catching these next 4 episodes and then seeing how they're going to wrap things up. I'm a little worried about Cassie's turn to the dark side, but I'm going to trust that they know what they're doing. I feel like this creative team has built enough faith that you can, okay, I'm going to trust them and see where we go next.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Karen, you had a question.
Yeah. You guys, what is the over under on how long it's going to take them to make a should we kill Hitler joke in the next episode? Because isn't that always the debate, is if you could time travel, would you go back and kill Hitler? I'm thinking it's 5 minutes in at the very most.
I wonder if the title will give us a
Die Glock.
What does that mean in English?
The bell, the stairs, it's something that
the bell, yeah.
Yeah, the bell.
Conspiracy theory was purported purported top secret scientific technical device, or Wonderwaffe, developed in the 40s. Okay.
But
so it's an anti-gravity UFO conspiracy.
Ooh.
There you go.
All righty.
Interesting. Yeah. Here we are, guys. Our next podcast will be our last full batch of 4 episodes, and those episodes are Die Glock, Daughters, Demons, which is interesting because we know that the snake is diverted by a demon, and then 1 Minute More.
Why are they straying away from the single word?
I don't know.
Episode names.
And it's season. The last 2 episodes are the beginning, 1 and 2. What was the first season? Was it the end? Splinter. Okay.
But 45 RPM is definitely already. What is that? That's 4 words. 5 words if you count 45 revolutions per minute, in case you kids don't know what a record is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All righty. So that's our discussion for today. Jesse, if people want to find out where you are on the interwebs, where should they go?
You can find me on Twitter, aka X, aka who knows what, at Jesse Jackson DFW. I would love to hear people's thoughts and would love for them to make sure that they're sending us their predictions if this is the first time they've seen it, or we haven't got much feedback on 12 Monkeys. Hey, someone write an email. We need a feedback.
That's right.
Good. Karen.
I am at Elderberry on various social medias. It will always be Twitter, just so you guys know. In my bio there's a link to my blog, and there's a bunch of links that you might find interesting there on the landing page.
Excellent. And of course, you can find this podcast on YouTube at Lose Reviews, well, under our JKL Media banner. And we've also done one-offs for the English, Midnight Mass, Devs, couple more that aren't coming to the top of my head, but you'll find them there for sure. Generally, we try to do series that only have one season, but this was an exception that fortunately has turned out to be a very wonderful experience for us all. As well, you can find my episodes. The writers, we're working our way through Babylon 5. We're in season 3, almost done that one. And I also have a Stephen King podcast. And on Twitter, you can find me at Lou W. Sytsma, Sytsma. But with that, the tether is snapping. We're all going to go back to our normal lives again for another week. And until then, let's be careful out there. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. We're waving at you. Bye.
Yes. Yay.
Yeah. Virtual waves all around.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Perfect. Sounds great.
And see.